What's the dark side of Dubai? Behind the curtain? Why prostitution is so common in Dubai, even when it's illegal? How much money is made from prostitution in Dubai in a single day? All the hidden information and interesting facts about the prostitution industry of Dubai in this video. Dubai, known for its luxurious shopping experiences, modern architecture, and stunning beaches, a darker reality lurked beneath the surface: the world of prostitution. Although illegal in the United Arab Emirates, prostitution persisted and thrived within this glitzy metropolis. This video takes you on a journey to explore the various aspects of prostitution in Dubai, delving into its history, current state, and the profound impact it has on individuals and society as a whole. Dubai's tryst with prostitution stretches back to the 1950s and 1960s, when the city was but a small fishing village. During those times, many women residing in the area turned to prostitution to support themselves and their families. As the city grew and transformed into a bustling tourist destination, the sex trade continued to flourish. Brothels, massage parlors, and escort services became commonplace, attracting women from countries like Russia, Ukraine, and Thailand. Today, prostitution remains deeply intertwined with Dubai's economy, drawing women from different corners of the world to participate in the trade. Despite its illegality, prostitution in Dubai was relatively open and easy to find. Red light districts housing brothels and massage parlors were scattered across the city, with Deira and Bur Dubai being the primary locations. It wasn't just women involved in the trade. Men also offered their services. The women working in these establishments typically charged fees ranging from AED 100 to 300, which is like $27 to $81 for their services. The impact of prostitution in Dubai reverberated both within the lives of those involved and throughout society as a whole. For the women and men engaged in the trade, the danger they faced were all too real, ranging from physical and emotional abuse to risk of contracting HIV and other sexually transmitted infections. Moreover, these individuals were constantly under the threat of arrest and imprisonment, given the severe penalties associated with prostitution in the UAE. Prostitution remained illegal throughout the United Arab Emirates, and those caught engaged in it faced hefty fines, imprisonment, and the likelihood of being deported if they were foreigners. In 2006, the UAE deported around 4,300 foreign prostitutes. However, despite its illegality, prostitution remained widespread, particularly in Abu Dhabi. Authorities often turned a blind eye as long as it remained discreet and concealed from the public eye. UAE nationals were allowed a certain number of residence visas, primarily utilized for domestic staff. Any surplus visas were often sold through intermediaries to enable prostitutes to enter and remain in the country for up to 2 years. These residence visas exchanged hands for substantial amounts, reaching upward of £5,000. Additionally, some agents arranged for prostitutes to enter the country on 3-day tourist visas. While street prostitution existed, especially on Abu Dhabi's Hamdan Street, most of the trade took place in bars and nightclubs within hotels. The UAE gained a reputation as a top sex tourism destination in the Middle East, attracting numerous foreign businessmen. Visitors from post-Soviet states, South America, Eastern Europe, East Asia, Africa, South Asia, and other Middle Eastern countries flocked to Dubai, contributing to the demand for the services provided by sex workers. Dubai's ambitious integration into globalization paid off handsomely, even in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. The Emirate focused on developing its service sector, with tourism leading the way. While alcohol consumption was permitted in licensed hotels, bars, restaurants, and nightclubs, it remained prohibited in public spaces. It was precisely in these venues that sex workers would often approach potential clients, offering their services during their stay in the Emirate. A tactic hierarchy seemed to prevail in Dubai's prostitution scene. Chinese, Filipinos, or Indian prostitution were considered of lesser value than their Central Asian counterparts, who were still less appreciated than European women, including those from Russia, Ukraine, and Western countries. Arab partners remained the rarest and therefore the most sought after, as they worked less often in the public space. Estimating the exact number of active prostitutes in Dubai was a challenging task, but some resources suggested that it could be as high as 45,000. The intricacies of Dubai's sponsorship-based resident visa system made it difficult to ascertain precise figures. Emirati nationals who were authorized to sponsor a certain number of foreigners on residence visas often delegated those sponsorship rights to intermediaries, without necessarily knowing the nature of the immigrants' activities. While the residence visa system underwent reforms in 2016, manipulations persisted, particularly in the lower end of the prostitution market. Transactions often occurred without intermediaries, giving an illusion of an absence of pimping. However, offering such services in Dubai without solid protection would be inconceivable. In 2017, the UN published the harrowing testimony of a sex slave from Uzbekistan who, after enduring 18 months of nightmare in Dubai, chose to be arrested by the Emirati police for deportation. Recent revelations from victims in Bangladesh have shed light on the trafficking of individuals who were enticed to Dubai under false promises of domestic employment. While the presence of prostitution and child camel jockeys smuggled into the UAE from Indian subcontinent remain illegal, they seem to be the only foreign workers exempted from expulsion. These exploited Muslim children, some as young as 5, were forced to ride camels in desert races on which massive bets were placed. Their terrified screams were believed to make the camels run faster. Similarly to prostitution, the employment of young jockeys was illegal in UAE since 1993, yet the authorities turned a blind eye. These child jockeys, predominantly Muslims, faced ruthless exploitation and were in dire need of rescue. In contrast to the leniency towards prostitution and child jockeys, foreign workers in the UAE, even those with legal status, were routinely rounded up and expelled. Between 1991 and 1996, over 145,000 workers, primarily Muslims, were sent back to their home countries. In more recent times, Saudi Arabia expelled nearly 400,000 workers, accusing them of being in the kingdom illegally. In reality, many had simply changed employers a right denied to foreign workers in the kingdom. The presence of young prostitutes and jockeys seemed to be tolerated by the Saudi Arabia and Kuwait for their own amusement. While foreign workers faced the brunt of expulsion, this stark contrast shed light on the ruthless exploitation faced by these vulnerable individuals and underscored the urgent need for their rescue and protection. That's all for today's video. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And thanks for joining us on the journey to learn more about interesting facts. Remember, don't forget to subscribe for more educational content and stay tuned for our next adventure. Stay safe, be kind, thanks for watching, and see you soon.